Okay, so the other day I made a video and I was showing you that our pipes had froze on our water. And if I have an IBC tank, just for those who've never been to this channel before and heard me talk about the IBC tank, we have an IBC tank, and I have an RV pump that pumps water from the IBC tank into the house, into an on-demand water heater. This is a propane on-demand water heater. So when you turn on the water, the RV pump kicks on and the water heater kicks on. Well, the pipes froze. Now, no matter how many times I have said that in the 5 years that we have used the IBC tank, somebody will indicate that we have to bury the tank because obviously the tank is freezing. The tank has never froze. The walls of the tank will get a thin layer of ice. There'll be a thin layer of ice on top, but as far as the tank going into a solid block of ice, it's never happened, and all you got to do is just kind of beat around on it. It breaks that ice up and water is flowing again. So the IBC tank holds the water, and then you have this little nozzle down at the bottom, and that nozzle is where the water comes out into the RV pump. So the other day I showed you that when the pipes freeze up, it's no big deal. And here's a little clip of that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but here's a little clip. See, it's really not that big of an inconvenience filling buckets versus filling the IBC tank. I got to do it every day anyway, so what's the big deal? I'm going to interrupt this video just for a second and ask you to go over to my other channel. It's a brand new video today. Subscribe, watch the video all the way through. I'm sure you're going to learn something. And if you pay attention or get motivated, maybe a better word, you can fix your own stuff. I was actually kind of surprised it froze. I didn't think we would freeze this time, so I didn't really take too much preventive action to keep it from freezing. Usually my pipes will freeze about -4. Now I have a little remote control thermometer out there that sends a signal to this. And right now, underneath that little nozzle is 32.4 degrees, so it's just above freezing. Eventually that will warm up because I have a fan right here blowing the house temperature into that spot right there. So that primarily keeps our pipes warm until we get down to -4 degrees. It's a great system. It's worked great until we get to negative temperatures, and it just doesn't happen that often here in Missouri. So I don't see why I want to invest any money fixing it. So that was 2 days ago. It froze in the middle of the night, no big deal. So I went out and filled the buckets of water. We still got buckets of water laying around all over the place. Here's one. I just filled them this morning. This is full. I got the Berkey filled back up, so it's working. These are the filters, in case you've never seen a Berkey. So it's filtering. A little slow for some reason. I think it's getting close to time to replacing those filters. They're about 6 years old. This morning it was 19 degrees, and then the thing is last night when I went to bed it was, I think, 14 degrees. So all night long the temperature had been going up outside, and it was supposed to get up to 33 degrees today. So I thought, this is the day that I'm going to try to thaw the pipes. Now what I normally do is I take this little heater. It's a 70-watt heater. Now think about it, 70 watts, that's not a lot. For those who don't know what I'm talking about when it's watts, a regular space heater for your house usually is 700 watts on low, 1400 watts on high, somewhere around there, 1500 watts. So we're talking a fraction, 10% of low on your regular space heater. I stick that into the ventilation outside, this ventilation. I shut this fan off, stick it in there, and I let that kind of thaw the pipes out inside the ventilation. Now remember, the pipes didn't get down to negative temperatures. The pipes are just barely frozen. You know, 29, 30 degrees, somewhere around there. So I only got to raise the temperature 2 degrees on those pipes because I was heating it the whole time. It just got below 32 degrees and it froze inside that ventilation. Then the other thing I do is I kind of take the buddy heater here and I just kind of stick it up against the tank, not directly, but you know, a few feet away from the tank. You get the pump to warm up and just kind of get the whole area to warm up a little bit. But this thing has decided to clunk out on me today. It's not working. So I'm gonna have to replace that, maybe. I mean, I've talked to Carolyn, she's not like in a big hurry to replace it. Once I got where I felt like the pipe inside the ventilation was thawed, then I took this and I just kind of hung it down. I've taped up the safety mechanism. So I just kind of hung it down onto the pump and the piece where the water comes out of the tank. Hung it there for about an hour and it didn't start. So I went outside and I played with the wiring and the pump, just seeing when, you know, if something was broke or whatever. And what it was is the wire had come loose while I was in there messing with it. Put the wire on, everything started up. So now I'm kind of wondering if that was thawed out like, you know, 2 hours ago. I mean, it doesn't matter. I needed to get it a little bit warm anyways, so it doesn't freeze again. Now, it's only going to get down to 22 degrees tonight, so I'm sure it won't freeze tonight. Then tomorrow night's supposed to get down to 10. So what I'll do to keep everything warm is I'll fill that tank. I didn't fill it today. I'll fill it tomorrow while it, you know, it's above freezing. And then when it drops down to 10 degrees, that well water, you know, it's 58 degrees or so, 56 degrees, 60 degrees, whatever it is, will help warm the temperature of the water in the tank, you know, to whatever, you know, 34, 35, 36 degrees. And that'll keep us from freezing tomorrow night. And then the temperatures are going to go back up. So, but to show you that we're up and running after 2 days, We have water. You may have heard that it kicked on the heat. I don't know. See if we can show you the heat right here. You might be able to see the flames right there. So we're heating up the water. Now, a lot of people seem to think that if you turn the water on and let it drip a little bit, that it won't freeze your pipes. And that is true if some of your pipes are underground. So let's say you have pipes coming from the city street underground, and then it goes into your trailer. So you have a foot or two that is exposed to cold air. Everything's underground is warm, 58 degrees or so. Everything above the floor is warm. So you only have that 1 foot of area that's cold. So when you drip your water, hot water is coming out from underneath the ground, 58 degrees, up through that pipe, and it doesn't have time to freeze before it goes into the house. That doesn't work here because nothing's underground. Oh no, get it buried. I told you I don't want to spend any money on that. Said that in the last video. We do drip it. As a matter of fact, this year is leaking by a little bit, or a little on-off shut-off valve here. The thing that turns our water on. It's leaking by a little bit. So this year I haven't replaced it this year. I will. But it's leaking by, so we let that leak by so it would drip. That doesn't help because the water in the tank is cold, the water in the pipe is cold. Everything's cold until it gets into the house. So there's nothing warm underneath ground keeping anything in the pipes warm as it comes into the house. So it doesn't work. We let that drip right into a bucket. That way we can use that water for future use. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video to my new channel. And I have a brand new video today. So I'm sure you're going to learn something. So I hope I can inspire you to not stress over 2 days, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.